I feel like everyone's first job went one of two ways. It was either a glorious occasion where they would stay with their company for years, or it was a terrible experience that started their hatred for humanity. And let me tell you, working my first job was such a harsh wake-up to the true reality that I, myself, am a part of society. My first job, like most others, was food service. I worked at a beloved pretzel chain that, for legal reasons, we will call Uncle Dan's. Uncle Dan's wasn't that bad out of all my 10 jobs, but it definitely wasn't fabulous. As a young sheltered boy as me, I was so excited to feel like a hard worker of society and be worshipped like a pimp for getting money that wasn't my parents', but instead was Uncle Dan's. I was wearing my Uncle Dan's uniform like it was supreme. It would literally be less than 30 degrees outside, and I would be rolling up to school in my short-sleeve Uncle Dan's shirt like I was Bully McGuire. When people would ask me if I wanted to hang out, I would let out a long sigh like, I gotta work my job because I need that money. Even though I was just using that money to buy the most useless stuff like this. Like, what even is this? Even though I was the truest pimp in school, it came with a toll. Actually working. Now, my Uncle Dan's had 2 locations. It had the store itself, which I worked at for the entirety of my training period, and a little kiosk stand where I would work at for the majority of my time there. Working at the store kinda sucked because I would constantly have my mentally insane manager breathing down my neck. He wasn't terrible for the training period, but quickly turned into the biggest ever. I think his hatred for me actually started when his girlfriend broke up with him, because he was constantly telling me when I would come into my shift about how sad and lonely he was, and I was just kind of like, okay. So it was needless to say that since he didn't like me, I was exiled to the little kiosk in the middle of the mall. Working at the kiosk was actually god tier working. All the stand had was pretzels, lemonade, slushies, me, and no cameras. My first time working at the kiosk, I was super anxious to be on my own, because I expected that I would be fending these pretzels from the ravagers that lurked in the mall. Though, I quickly learned that I either die an Uncle Dan's hero, or live long enough to become the pretzel villain. Because I went to town with those pretzels. I basically had an infinite amount of pretzels, because every hour one of my coworkers would bring down a massive cart full of pretzels to restock the stand. And with the old pretzels, they would just tell me to throw in the trash, which I basically became the trash. Most of my shifts would literally consist of me sitting on my phone, occasionally getting a customer, and eating an ungodly amount of pretzels. Though, at the stand, I ran into one of the strangest, yet most wholesome customers I've ever had in my working history. Shortly after I started my shift this day, I had a middle-aged man come up to the stand and asked if I liked the lemonade, which I, basically fizzing from the mouth with lemonade, told him yes. He ordered a lemonade which costed like $2 and immediately started sucking down this lemonade like his life depended on it. And during his breaths in between drinking the lemonade, he would say things like,
"Wowzer, I never had anything so good! You must be their best employee making this lemonade. Ooh, the lemonade! It's just the lemon and the shit."
I can't with this He then gave me a $10 tip and left. But that's not it. This man then comes up 30 minutes later with some lady speaking in only Russian and a little boy who was also speaking in Russian. They were talking to me in Russian, which I assumed they were trying to order, but I didn't get at all what they were trying to say, and the guy from before told me what they were trying to order, and then he ordered a Dr. Pepper on top of that. The total came out to be like $10 or something, which he paid for with $100, and when I opened the drawer, he was like,
"Oh, keep the change. You can use it for later."
Of course, I freaked out, because I never imagined getting a tip, nonetheless a $100 tip. I thanked him and he praised me for my hard work. and then opened his Dr. Pepper and did the same thing he did with the lemonade.
Ooh, the syrupy goodness. Oh, this is just so good.
Wake up, wake up, wake up.
Honestly, Uncle Dan's wasn't terrible for my first job, but when I decided to turn in my 2 weeks notice, things got a little crazy. When I gave my manager the notice, he asked why I was quitting, which I explained I didn't really like the job and I didn't really like him being my manager. Shortly after I gave him the notice and my shift started, the phone began ringing. Thank you for calling Uncle Dan's. How can I help you?
Did you just cuss out my manager?
What?
I know you just cussed out my manager.
What are you talking about? Who is this?
It's Ryan, you f***ing idiot. Why did you cuss out my manager?
I didn't. I gave him my 2 weeks notice and—
Well, I'm not gonna believe you because you're quitting anyway.
Okay.
If you do anything like this one more time, I swear...
And that is how my first job went. Okay, bye!